wanted to flag this. This is kind of interesting. So obviously we've been focused a lot on AI, on ChatGPT, on these large language models. We talked yesterday about these couple of instances where you had a professor assigned to his students this assignment where they were supposed to generate an essay from ChatGPT and then fact check it. And every single one of the students, it was like 60 papers, found glaring, they call them hallucinations. ChatGPT just made stuff up. And there was a lawyer that foolishly relied on ChatGPT to create a legal brief. And ChatGPT just invented like a dozen different cases to back up whatever claim this lawyer was trying to make, all completely fake, completely fabricated. So there are a lot of problems still with ChatGPT, the LLMs in general, AI, et cetera. So we've been talking about, okay, what would it look like to regulate this stuff and what are the dangers, et cetera. And our general view has been, all right, lawmakers don't really have their heads wrapped around this. They don't really understand it, and they're not really taking actions that they need to figure out how to have AI that is actually beneficial for humanity. Well, tucked into this debt ceiling deal, there actually was some language about AI. But rather than being like, let's curtail AI, it was like, let's see how it goes to incorporate this more into government and to try to, quote unquote, streamline the process for these environmental impact assessments by using AI. So David Dayen flagged this. Take a look at what we've got here. So he says you could certainly read this part of the permitting section of the debt ceiling bill as studying the feasibility of AI reviews for this National Environmental Policy Act, which based on current technology would probably go as well as AI legal briefs, which is what I just referred to. Keep this up on the screen. I'll just read the language here, and though it's a little bit technical. They say permitting portal study. The Council on Environmental Quality shall conduct a study and submit a report to Congress within 1 year of the enactment of this act on the potential for online and digital technologies to address delays in reviews and improve public accessibility and transparency under Section 102(2)(c) of the National Environmental Policy Act, including but not limited to a unified permitting portal. And then it goes on from there. So what do you make of this, Saagar?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean, at one hand, it's not like a definitive we're going to use AI, but it's more about appropriating government funds and saying that we will conduct a study for the potential for online and digital technologies. Now, once again, the reason why we should all be just a little bit suspect on this is that it means like we will see a total fusion of AI and government in the future, which if possible, if it's good, like maybe that will make it more effective. If it's bad, it will be just as bad as the lawyer brief. Given the history of the government here, I'm just gonna go ahead and say I'm a bit skeptical as to how this is gonna go. And also in terms of the content, I mean, we've already gone over this so many times, but when you think about the tax system, it's like if the IRS sends you a bill and like you owe you have no ability to contest that. Or for example, we live in the state of Virginia where this is one of those insane states where they decide to tax your car, like the property of your car, and they send you a bill based on the assessed value. You have no ability to contest that. You're like, well, actually the market is different, or oh, actually it has this. Like, nope. They're like, this is what you owe us, and that seems very likely to be the type of scenario where the environmental impact review, for example, I think environmental impact reviews can be important. I also think they've been dramatically misused. There's a recent Supreme Court case that was around this couple that wanted to build something on their property. It's complicated. But my point is that you could see in the future where AI or some government program just looks at input, output variables. They're like, nope, that's actually just not what we're going to do. And then you have to spend years of your life, as this one couple did, having to fight it in the Supreme Court. And they spent 16 years in court, and they won 9-0.
Yeah.
But they had to wait 16 years to try and build something on their own property.
Yeah.
That's an example of that's how the system already is with humans involved. With technology, like who knows? What
you're pointing to here is that you already have a problem with faceless, unaccountable bureaucracy within the government, and adding a layer of even more mysterious and unaccountable tech is unlikely to improve that situation.
Exactly. Right.
I think the other piece here that it makes me think about is just, Washington is stacked with lobbyists who are all advocating for the interests of companies like Microsoft, for example, which obviously is placing a big bet on AI. And they're constantly working to get these little provisions stuck in that almost no one notices. And so at the same time that we're going, all right, what are lawmakers like? How are they going to grapple with AI, and what are they going to do? While we are having that public conversation behind the scenes, Microsoft or whatever other companies have an interest in plugging AI into the federal government as this new giant customer, they are working to get their provisions in. Like, their thing is very effective. So, you know, is this like the end of the world? Is it a huge deal to have this study into using AI within the permitting process? Probably not. Although, again, as David Dayen points out, it's not just explicitly limited to that. They said that, you know, it could go beyond that. But I do think it's very telling about some of the dangers here, some of the ways that this could become omnipresent without any of us even intending to or noticing, and also just the way that Washington works in general.
Yes, absolutely. Well said.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.